Hello and welcome back to another video. Today is a little bit different because I wanted to walk you through my character, my achievements, PvP, PvE, my gear, my alts, everything that is worth noting after, well, I think around 1050 hours at the moment, as you can see right here, which is a lot of time, and I want to show you guys what that looks like. First of all, let's go through the character and well, my main character, which is currently at 1437 and a half. Before I do this though, just a quick mention, the only thing I purchased in the game with real money was the Platinum Founders Pack, which also gives you a little bit of royal crystals. I'll show you that really quick. Let me just remove that. 4.6k royal crystals left. I did buy this blue package here, which is super efficient, and I bought one character customization change, and obviously now that is very important with a new Ark Pass, just the normal premium one, which is incredibly efficient as well. I have not really purchased anything, and that's very important. If I open this here, you can see I have 442 Beyonds left, which none of them I've used, maybe 2 or 3 maybe. So there's no real reason to buy anything, especially accessories and ability stone, because you'll replace everything in here once we get relic accessories, right? So that's important to note, because my engravings do suck, and there's no point in getting better ones because the game is very easy at the moment. I am also selling gems. That's why I even have the gold to keep upgrading. I sell all my gems basically. I just sold a level 9 gem the other day for 50,000 gold. So that's one other thing that's very important. So while we're here, roster level 116. I don't really play alts. I have like one alt in tier 3 besides my main, which is not good in the long run, but for now it works. Also, my PvP level is Supreme 6. This is important for more mats. Once I reach Supreme 8, I can actually buy all of the PvP mats in the game, and that's what I'm aiming for at the moment. The title also is from reaching Grandmaster in PvP. So, I mean, if you look at the titles, I have a couple here. We just got Resonance of Soul the other day, but we'll talk about that in the collectible part. And yeah, that's basically the character right here. Oh yeah, maybe the Stronghold level is 33, doesn't really matter. I don't do that much on the Stronghold, but the little bit that I do is, level 33, that's not too bad. Let's talk about virtues. Virtues you get from all kinds of things, adventure tome, quest lines, and so on. Rapport, that's also part of the adventure tome though, mostly, which looks pretty good. My charisma is very low though, and you can swap that around though with different costumes. So for example, for Nineveh, I just wear a different costume if I want to do her questline, which I've already done obviously, but this is my virtues right now. And actually, let's talk about the card set really quick as well. I got very lucky in the beginning with Solus. I can even upgrade the Lane Armin again, but there's no point, right? So getting the 7% crit rate set is very, very nice, and we'll probably keep a stable. Like, I will probably use this set for a long time. I'm working on the next one already, which is Light Salvation, but I have not been that lucky with it. I mean, if we look through here, I have 6 cards now that I could use, but I only have 6 awakening, and you need at least 12 for this to be even half decent. So until then, I'll keep using Lost Wind Cliff. And yeah, let's just talk about my alts really quick while we're on the topic of characters. I have a couple of characters of all the slots that I currently have, 7. Well, I have a character created on them, but I'm only really playing Nico Freelo here, which is my Shadow Hunter on 1370. Currently, I'm using the Express Pass on the Scrapper though, which is very, very efficient. I get a lot of stuff from there too, and I do use my Paladin as well for for reputation on Una's tasks. And I did boost a Gunslinger with the Phaeton Power Pass, which I've never played. Like, it's really hard for me to play multiple characters, so yeah, it is what it is. We also have a Glaivier and a Striker, but I don't really play those outside of PvP. Before we get into that PvP section, let's talk about the Adventure Tome really quick. These are all the continents that I have been progressing on, which is all of them. And also the New South Verne one I haven't really done a whole lot on. As you can see, most of them are 80%, because most of the time 80% is the last time you get something useful. For example, a rapport item, which is really important for a lot of the Giant's Hearts. And so I did try to get at least 80% on most of them. I got a couple others are not that important or are super annoying to do. So Yorn and Rohendel are still not at 80, but we'll be working on that as well. And maybe very quickly, my Ark Pass is currently level 21. And I'm also progressing that obviously to level 30 once we get there. It's a lot of mats, and I need those to get to that 1445 threshold, which I am 3 clicks away. 3 clicks and we will be 1445 ready for hard mode Valden. On the topic of collectibles, let's also talk about reputation, which I've been working on almost every day, and I have like 5 pages of completed ones. A couple of notable ones are probably the ashtray stuff, because I do have an ashtray. I'll show you that in a second. And there's a lot of very important ones that give you a Giant's Heart, for example, Tuki Island one, and a lot of the other ones as well. So there's a lot of Una's tasks that went into this. As I said, I'm doing Una's tasks on basically 3 to 4 characters every day. This is important to do. There's a lot of stats to be found in here, and a lot of collectible stuff as well. So I'll keep doing this until I have all of them done eventually, because the goal at the end of the day is to complete the game, right? So let's talk about my ship really quick. I do have the Orca, the red one called Ferrari, which you get from amethyst shards. You get a lot of them from Twitch drops and stuff, so it's actually pretty easy to get the skin. Although in the long term I will not use this. I also have the other one, the Offhaven one, which for the highest possible burst movement speed is the best. So I will be swapping to that once my crew is fully maxed out. And yeah, we have a level 8 ashtray, which with the 2 sailors, the Relic Blackfang and the Epic Blackfang. I've also been working on 2 more already. I do have a legendary Baracus and Fordin, but obviously I need to reach level 10 on the ashtray first to, you know, use 5 sailors, and I still need the Relic Baracus that I'm currently working on. Actually, let me check that out really quick. In my tokens, I have currently 8.6k sun coins, which I think you need between 14 and 15,000 for the legendary Baraka. So once we get there, I'll probably swap the skin out and so on. But for now, this is pretty good. This ship is super fast. We can sail up to 52 knots with the spacebar movement speed, and obviously if you have the Offhaven skin, you can go even faster in a shorter time period. But overall, this is a very fast boat, and probably one of the fastest that you can currently have. As I said, once we upgrade the ship further and so on, we can actually be even faster. And while we're out here on the open sea, let's talk about collectibles and everything that outside of the adventure tome, of course. But the actual collectibles, let's go through all of the pages, starting with the island hearts. I've currently 52 island hearts, and I can get a 53rd from Revelry Row or Una task that I still need to do the quest line. So we're at 53. The plan is obviously to get to 90, so the boat is as fast as possible. And obviously you also get secret maps and masterpieces for other collectibles, which is very important. But 90 island hearts is the goal that I'm shooting for right now. Eventually I want to get everything though. So the plan is to get every single thing in the game eventually. Then the next page is Giant's Hearts, which you can see is for completely maxed out now. I just maxed that out yesterday. I actually want to show you what that looks like. So we have everything here, including skill points, masterpieces. And for anyone wondering, you get 1 title and you get a, well, like a piece for your estate. I'll show you that in a second. So we're here in my estate, and if you walk in, you can see this gigantic hand sculpture. This is from 15 Giants Hearts, which honestly is pretty badass, but anything above 13 Giants Hearts is not super useful for character, like for vertical progression, but horizontally this is pretty cool, right? It looks pretty badass. And yeah, let's keep going with those. So next up is the Omnium Stars, which we just got a 7th one, so obviously don't have it yet, but we do have the 6 for the skill points. I'm actually only missing a singular skill point potion in the game, and well, I'll show you that in just a second. We have masterpieces. I'm at 35 at the moment, which already gave me the 8,000 gold from this chest, and we're obviously working on all of the other ones because there's a lot of gold in this and a lot of useful card. Even the way card is very useful. So this is really nice to have. Then about Mokoko seeds, I haven't really done a whole lot. I have 645 Mokoko seeds at the moment. We do have to get this already maxed out, especially for 1150, just for the masterpiece, and obviously there's another one here. So those are pretty important. The rest isn't super important, but we'll still get it done, and eventually I will have this maxed out as well. Ignia tokens, I don't have a single one. I mean, you already saw my adventure tome, right? I don't have a single one maxed out yet, which is the last skill point potion that I actually need, which is for 8 Ignia tokens, but that is a lot of work. And to be fair, you basically have to spend some money on rapport items if you don't, I mean, unless you just spend gold, obviously, for blue crystals. But overall, this is very hard to get right now, and I'm not really, well, I don't really need these skill points right now. Eventually I will get this, obviously. Also the stat increases, everything here is very useful, and the Bifrost key is also really cool, so we will definitely be working on that eventually, but right now I haven't done a single one yet. 30 world tree leaves, there's not much to say about that. I just do life skills every now and then. I think life skills in Lost Ark are pretty shallow and boring, so I just use it whenever I can, right? And I'm progressing this slowly. We did get the masterpiece already, which is probably the most important thing, unless you want to make money with it, in which case you want 72. But this is not something you can really target. You're just going to go out of your way and farm some mats, you know? That's all you really do here. And then last but not least, for collectibles, the sea bounties. This is actually kind of a secret tip, because a lot of people dismiss this because these are kind of hard to get in a lot of cases, but you get a lot of silver from this. If you're struggling with silver, this is definitely something to keep an eye out for. If you have some leftover pirate coins or coin chests, you can buy a lot of sea bounties from just merchants outside of towns and stuff. And there's a lot of silver in here that will definitely bridge the gap between you and your upgrades, right? So this is also really good to do, and again, I want to max this out eventually as well. And yeah, on the topic of skill points, I currently have 384 skill points available, which is from being level 57, obviously, first of all, and having all of the skill points besides one. So if I had the last potion, I would be at 390. My runes are nothing crazy either. I'm just gonna scroll through them really quick if you're interested. Keep in mind, we do have the legendary bleed rune, which is a rare drop, so this one is pretty hard to get. The rest is overall, this is the setup that I have right now. And now for the last part, which is the achievements. So let me just open that up. We had 36% completion of all the achievements in the game. As you can see, yesterday I completed the Giant's Heart achievement well, which was pretty badass. So I'll just walk you through the most memorable ones. There's not that many, let's say, super interesting ones. Actually, maybe a lot of people are probably wondering how many fails I have. Let me just go here. I have 369 fails at the moment, which is, well, considering I've only played 2 characters, probably still pretty lucky, but it doesn't feel good. Let's talk about the combat ones. Actually, these are probably the most interesting. For example, if you go all the way down here, I've done Valganos over 50 times already. The boss is actually very nice. I think it's one of the best bosses we have. So I do this boss every day, and once you know the mechanics, it's also not super hard at all, and it gives you more mats, right? So this is definitely something that not a lot of people have right now. Boss Rush, I've already finished all the achievements. Chaos Dungeon, also I finished all the achievements, which is like doing over 200 Chaos Dungeons in Tier 3. As I said, I'm not playing a lot of characters, so I did a lot of Infinite Chaos Dungeon, and that's why I have all of these achievements maxed out. And probably, let's talk about the 2 hardest achievements that I probably have. One is definitely getting to Grandmaster in PvP, which gives you the title Top of the World. It will get harder and harder the more time goes on, right? Because people will push further and people will get better. So getting Grandmaster early on was a good call, and then again, I do want to push Grandmaster again at the end of the season for that bonus mount and the bonus title and stuff. But for now, this is probably the hardest achievement. There's also this achievement here, Winning Spree, so you have to win 25 games in a row. This also gives you a unique title, and this is probably the second hardest achievement in the game. What you can do is you can do a pre-made group with 3 good players, and then you just roll through this. Earlier you do this, the easier it is, obviously, because people will get better and better over time. But this is a pretty rough achievement, especially if you want to do this later on. Outside of that, we have basically done everything else in the game. We've done Argos multiple times on P3. Every content that you can imagine in the game, basically, at the moment. So we're just waiting for Valten, and as I said, I just need 3 more upgrades to actually do hard mode Valten, so I will probably be more than ready for that release. And that is basically the entire account. If you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer them. If you enjoyed this video, write a comment and I'll probably try to answer them as fast as I can. If you did enjoy this video, consider subbing as well, or come over to Twitch if you want to ask some more direct questions as well. I'm live every day. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you in the next one. Peace.